hope we are all good. I hope we are right and keeping safe and thriving in our different situations. I welcome you back to Changing Times, and I hope that the information that we have so far got, that it is helpful, that there is a person or two that is being helped with this information. Please do not forget to share, reach out to the people who you think need this information, and please get in touch. Anybody that needs support, please get in touch, not only with me but with the people that you think can help. Of course, if you need support from me, reach out. The information is given to you on the page. Please reach out. Do not die alone. We've got to thrive through the changes. Last time we discussed the second part of anger towards a superior being. So today I want us to go back and look at the things that we have so far discussed. We talked about the emotions pertaining to our loss, and yes, we talked about the shock when we first get to know about the loss. We talked about the fear. We talked about the guilt. Then we started discussing anger. One thing I have discovered is that we get angry mostly because we have no control over the situation. So because we have no control, because we don't know what to do about what we are experiencing, the uncertainty usually creates the fear first, but then the anger, because what is it that I'm supposed to do? How do I go on from here? How do I move forward? Because we think we don't have the resources to push forward, the first reaction will be feeling helpless and hopeless and angry. And we've discussed anger towards the person that has passed, mainly because we feel that, okay, you have left me to do this on my own. Second, and it's not even just about the people that we live with. Even the losses not necessarily pertaining to, big people, spouses or friends, or even the children, the little people that we lose. We have hoped for a life with them. We have hoped for a future. We have hoped for things, and now they have left us. What do we do? How do we move on from here without them? That alone is uncertain. So when we move from being angry towards the person that has gone, we go to being angry towards the situation. Because yes, there is loss, but there are people we have lost with. And like I discussed last time, the people that are mourning with you, but they are mourning their loss. You have lost the same person, but they may have lost many other things about this same person. There is also what I have discovered. The people who support us, the people who come to us during our loss, sometimes increase our pain by the words that they say, the expectations that they have, and the attitude, the general presence sometimes is not helpful. A lot of times it's helpful, but sometimes it's not helpful. For me, it is well. Edith, it is well. What was well about the loss? Some people will say, no, actually some people told me, but you're lucky, at least you have children. And I'm thinking, children need both parents. That's the ideal situation. So there is nothing okay about losing one. There is one who will come and reach out and say, you have lost a child, but at least you have one or two others. That's being insensitive. There's some words, there's some statements that people make that set us back. But also, there are certain expectations. There is some things that people expect you to do as a person that has lost. In my case, for example, I was expected to cry and be seen in a more vulnerable state than I was. But it doesn't mean that I am not in pain. It just means that I have been held by God enough. For me, it was that I had a support that I did not even deserve, that I didn't know how I lived through each day. It depends on where your anchor is sometimes. And not everybody that falls down is actually falling, or not everybody that keeps quiet and just looks on that they are not in pain. Everyone experiences their loss differently and must be accorded space and time to go through that loss, to experience it, to go through the motions. It is okay, everybody, to experience their loss whichever way they deem fit, as long as it is not harmful. There are certain expectations from society, from friends, from family, that I wish everybody would understand, that each one of us experiences their loss differently. This, I can't say it any better, but it is a cry from my heart that people should know that just because you are not mourning that particular loss, it doesn't mean that the other person is not in pain. Your attitude, your contributions, your opinions must be checked before you reach out, before you even say. Sometimes it's okay to be quiet, because you don't know when you make it worse for the other person. The anger is so bad that it affects the health situation of the person that is grieving. Some people have physical reaction towards anger. So you have to choose whether you want to keep it or you want to live through it and thrive through it. One thing that I have to remind you about, which I also remind myself on a daily basis, that whether I was angry, or whether I have questions, whether I have my fears, whether I have my doubts about the person that I lost, they are gone. They are gone and they are not coming back. So I went through the phase of, why have you decided to go now? I went through that phase to the phase where I accepted the loss. I accepted the fact that they had gone, and decided, it wasn't easy, but I decided to look at the memories, to live through the memories, to relive the memories, to propel me to my thriving ground. I am not there, but I'm glad I'm not where I used to be. So you've got to choose the things that work for you. The anger will go over time. You cannot sit a day and say, okay, today I'm dealing with this emotion and it must go. No. But you must intend to work through it, because when you work through it, then you are progressing and you are flowing and you will thrive. So for me, it was that I experienced the doubt, the fear of the loss, and I go back and forth. Like, there are moments where I will go back, but it's not as bad as it used to be then. So I know for sure that as time goes by, things become different. They don't become better, they become different, and you learn to live with different. So the memories took me from the very painful fear, the very painful, the situation that was taking me down. And now the anger towards the environment, because there were different things that were happening at the same time. Of course, there was emotions in me that were quite negative. And again, I had to determine whether I wanted to stay in that place where I am angry with everything. It was taking away my peace. It was taking away my joy. It was taking away the sun. It was failing me to see the new day, the sun that comes out. Because when the sun comes out, it must shine inside of you. So because the dark days were, the cloud was, too strong on me, I had to decide to get up and see the side of the light. It's not as easy as I said, but for me, this is what I did. I identified the anger points, even the persons. And when I did, like, I would think to myself, if this person comes and tells me such and such a thing, how is it helpful to the situation? I went through that phase where I was angry at people. I never wanted to hear certain things, but also I was relieved by the fact that I had anchors. I had people, I still have people who I reach out to and say, I feel like this. And they will talk to me. And because they respect me and I respect them, I will know that whatever we are discussing is for my good. Reach out to someone, because when you are angry, when you are upset, you are compromised in your thinking. Reach out to someone to be sure that you're thinking right, that you're acting right. We won't get it right all the time, but we strive towards getting it better. We strive towards a better ground. So for me, I always reached out, even if I had to send a message to a person that I was not sure of, I would have it checked to be sure that my emotion is clear. I encourage each one of us that as we walk the journey of loss, do not walk alone. Reach out to someone, reach out to people that respect you, that you respect, whose opinions you respect, that when they tell you, it will be an objective conversation which will lead you to thriving. These things don't end. The expectations are many. Our responsibilities are different. Okay? We also are in a certain place in our lives. You know, the loss finds you walking, the loss finds you living, the loss finds you working. And you do not stop just because it has come. You pause and then you have to move on. So be mindful of the fact that you have to thrive, you have to move on, you have to go through it. Otherwise, nobody lives this for you. And if you do not live it, it is the emotions that you do not release that you transmit. So you need to live through these emotions. You need to live through them. And I can't say more about the superior being, because everything that sets you back brings you into question. For me, my consistent question was, I always believed in Psalm 91. What happened? But also my answer I got. Long life is full life. I do not know what your question is. I do not know what your point of concern is, but be sure you're asking the right person. And be sure that whatever you get, it is not about you, it is about your purpose. I hope that that's clear. My message to you today to take home is, while we go through the different reasons why we are angry, the different points of anger, the different, emotions that will increase our anger, remember that you have control over how you want to feel. So it is not that the anger will not be stirred in you. It will be that you will have given yourself permission to feel that way. Decide to be present in everyday moments. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is there. It's not promised, but you have today. Thrive through today. As you thrive through today, tomorrow will be brighter. You don't know what it will bring, but you know that if you thrive today, the hope is better for tomorrow. You have no control over yesterday. Being angry about yesterday only brings you backwards. It's like, sitting in a rocking chair. You don't go anywhere. It gives you work, but you don't go anywhere. So you need to thrive. You need to decide. You need to also decide to shed off certain excess baggage, because excess baggage is heavy. All these things I have done. Shed off the excess baggage and your burden will be lighter, and the lighter your burden is, the better movement you will make. It does not get better, it is different, and it gets manageable over time. And you know one thing, that if you will to thrive, you will thrive. It is the only way to go through loss. I wish you all the best, and I know that we shall thrive through our changes, because we need to determine to thrive. Thank you very much. Reach out to someone, reach out for support. Be sure that you're doing the right thing for yourself, and be sure that you're putting yourself ahead of everything that is going to pull you down. Determine to thrive. Thank you.